All right, so 10.1 is live. Priest changes are live. Nothing new since the most recent video I put out in terms of changes for things. I've been running a lot of keys. Um, 27 no good, 27 halls, stuff like that. I'll kind of just go over how it feels right now, how I think things are going to go into the future. I might talk a little bit about gearing, things to look out for, stuff like that. But to start, I don't know why, but my stream quality was really bad today. It was kind of pissing me off, but I think I fixed it now. But um, so just some things. Like for instance, this pull right here in Algathar. I have like this is the pull we start, and I have CDs. So this will kind of just give you an idea of what Shadow is really capable of right now. I will mention this. So Algathar is a bit of an interesting dungeon for us right now because with the loss of Mindseer, the big overgrown ancient trash area pull, we're actually worse on, I think, overall. It's pretty close, but it felt worse because you're just not really hitting any of the little ads as much unless you're manually dotting them. So without Mindseer, that pull is worse for us, I believe. But these pulls, I mean, you can see, you'll be able to see what we're dealing with here. And I'll show you the talent build that I was running. This dungeon as well. This was I mean, you can see I'm climbing 400, 450. Thundering's coming. The thundering time was a little unfortunate. Do I hit 500? I don't know if I actually even get the 5. I don't think I do. Pack's dying. Yeah, tragic. Yeah, so on our big AoE pulls with RCDs, like even this one, ended this double pull. I got fucking slept, but like 400k, right? Even this pull, so this is another example too of like we're even strong outside of CDs, right? So this is a pull that I go into without Void Eruption up or any of my stuff. All I had was a Void Torrent, and I'm just playing the pack regularly, and I mean it's only a 4-pack of just. I mean, this is kind of what Shadow's doing right now. So, yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm just gonna say right now, guys, expect nerfs. It's definitely they're definitely coming. I think, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But these were the overalls for the Algathar. So you can see I finished 189k. This was the damage breakdown. So first I'll go here and I'll show you. This is the talents I was running. Again, this is like my talent build. Especially in a dungeon like Algathar, I decided to swap Death Speaker for Idol, just because I think Idol would help with the Idol would help with the trash damage, because if I don't have my dots on him, the really 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 high target count Idol in this off is juicy. But this is the talent build I was running, just so you know. But so this was the overall kind of breakdown, and there's a few things to touch on with this. With our 4 set, Devouring Plague is going to go down a little bit. Not by too much, because we do have our current tier set, which is buffing Devouring Plague by quite a lot. Our Devouring Plague is going to go down a little bit. Our Apparitions are going to shoot up. They should be above Vampiric Touch quite reliably going into next tiers, like in next season. Once you have 4-piece, is important to tell. Once you have 4-piece, once you lose 4-piece, your Devouring Plague will go down, and once you get this 4-piece, your Shadowy Apparitions will go up. And with that, not too much else increases. Technically, our Mind Blast damage is gonna go up, but not by much from the 2 set. But I mean, so this is an important note to touch on. The recommended 3 idle build, which I do recommend to everybody because I think it's the easier version of the build to play. You know, doesn't take these 2 points in Dark Evangelism, which is important to remember that this talent is 10% damage on this, 10% damage on this, 10% damage on this, 10% damage on your Shower Pain. So it's pretty strong, and I believe it does also work on the Mind Flay and Mind Seer damage from your Void Lashers. I believe, I could be wrong about that, but even if it doesn't, the 10% damage for that is kind of insane. So you can see here that, I mean, my Vampiric Touch damage is so high that, you know, a talent like this is very attractive to us now because so much of our damage is just our dots. And it's important to remember that this talent increases our Psychic Link damage because of the fact that Void Torrent feeds into it, especially in my talent build. That Surge of Insanity or Mind Flay Insanity will feed into it. And that's the other thing too with running. Instead of taking these 2 points and running this buffs Mind Flay Insanity. So this makes this stronger, and the 2 points are way better spent here. Because the other thing too about that is that in a lot of these big pulls, I think this will be a good example of one. This one we do here. When you're in cooldowns with a ton of targets, you're really just not pressing your filler that often. So what that means is that in AoE, on AoE pulls in M+, which is pretty much most of them, during CDs, you're losing, like, these are almost just non-talent points. In AoE, you're just throwing away 2 talent points essentially. Now I understand this is a better option on single target, and maybe High Tyran would be a reason to do that, but it just feels way too good because this is getting so much value in your cooldowns, but you're generating so much insanity that you never really have, or at least I haven't had to really fill during my CDs with really any of these abilities. So like these talent points just feel really, like these 2 specifically feel really bad in AoE, which is why I think taking this one is way better. And I just don't like Ancient Madness. You also have to talent into Void Touch to get here if you decide to drop these like me anyway, and I'm fine with Void Touch gameplay. I like it. So yeah, but I'll go back to this and you'll see that once everything kind of gets grouped up here, because it's a little separated, so I shadow crash, and you can see it kind of like misses a few targets because they were a little separated. It's kind of hard to tell. I think I see the restore over there. Yeah, so I early Void Torrent just to get the dot out. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm pretty sure I should channel a Mind Flay Insanity right here, but I'm almost 90% sure I don't, because I have Mind Blast coming up and Void Bolt, which is fine. But you're gonna see that so this weak bar right here tracks my Mind Flay Insanity duration, how many stacks I have, because that's how the talent works now. So I really think I very rarely press this. We'll see though. So I don't press it there. I press it there. So that was the right decision. Okay, I'm huge. What's that? That's the Shadow Crash. That Mind Blast into that. A little bit there. So you can see that I'm really I'm quite comfortably sitting at 2 stacks of it quite often, and just really do not get much of an opportunity to press the button during cooldowns. Like I maybe press it like 3-4 times there, and like something like that, right? And you can see obviously I did 300k there, but like it's just like having to have the one talent, like you're investing 2 more talent points when you could have literally 10% damage on Devouring Plague, Vampiric Touch. It's literally 10% damage on this, and all of those feed into this. So, I mean, it's just I can't justify running these 2 in my mind with the way that we generate insanity on AoE. Yeah, we did some We did a few of the keys. We did a Ruby. I mean, you can see Ruby first pull. I'm pretty sure Ruby first pull is like absolutely nasty on Priest, as far as I remember. Yeah, so like we get, so this one, I mean, same thing. So a lot of people ask me about this, kind of how do I approach openers with some of these packs, and you can see this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, more than 8 are in the pack is the problem, right? Because our Shadow Crash only hits 8. So you can see that I'm dotting them up as I walk up to the pack here. I dot up 1, 2, that. Then I Shadow Crash. Then after I set my Shadow Crash, I do try to look to see if I can find a nameplate that doesn't have dots on it. I think I counted right, and I got the right amount of dots up. So we go into our opener, we pop cooldowns, blah, blah, blah. Always pair Void Torrent with Thundering, but that's not going to matter next season, so... You can see here, I will do pretty stuff, let's say. $600, still going up. 650? Oh, I do hit a 650. Damn. Yo, listen, nobody, don't share this video. Don't send this to Blizzard. See, there's an Earthshaper there who doesn't have a dot on him, and I'm tilted. I don't even notice it either. Holy shit, I'm so stupid. Yeah, nobody send this to Blizzard. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get nerfs. But yeah, so I mean, you can see the overall for the Algathar did 190k. I mean, that's just disgusting. I think the Ruby, I finished, yeah, 100. Oh, I was on, oh, I think we wiped, did we wipe? Oh, is this when we wiped to the ball? Oh yeah, we wiped to the ball hitting the fucking, check how tragic this shit is. This one right here. Then we bait the ball right after. Oh, this is so tragic. I forgot about this. Yeah, look. Oh, right into the curb. Boom, boom. Yeah, so I was pissed, but I wanted to see what I was on pace for overall wise. You can see I was on pace for 160k at that point in Ruby, which is pretty crazy. I actually think, wait, I think I sent somebody some screenshots of one of oh, this was an actual one. 139k overall, 25 ROP. And that's pretty, yeah. Yeah. Those are some nice numbers that we're doing. So, like I said, I think we're definitely gonna get nerfed. Oh yeah, we no lever to 27 no could for the key drop next week. Which it was scuffed, but yeah, I ended at 145k, which was nice. We did HOV, so again, let's see if I can show you guys this first pull. Oh, I fucking died because DXM hates me. Listen, press a like on the video if your healer lets you die, right? Because my healer always lets me die. Flame them, don't let them get away with it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so I think you only have to dot like 1 mob or 2 mobs in this, but yeah, you can see, get all my buttons ready, thundering. I'm a little spooked because I'm getting targeted by all the abilities. Fucking DXM lets me die here when I get targeted by the next thing, I think. Yeah, I think it lets me die right on this one. Yep. And I was... Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, thank God. Yeah, so I mean 400... I think I've got to get 450 here, right? Surely. Oh, I'm on my way to get 450, and then look, this is where I die right here. Yep. Oh, I was gonna get it. But yeah, Priest very good. Oh yeah, we were getting inted on fucking Fenrir. We like no levered it, so just for 27s for the boys. But yeah, I mean, Shadow is really good, and I think our foresight going forward is, so impact of current foresight from what we're seeing to new 4 set, obviously, or tier set in general, I guess, is that the 2 set is increasing our psychic link damage quite a bit, since this tier set was designed without Devouring Plague cleaving psychic link in mind. So our psychic link damage is definitely going to go down going into once we lose this tier in M+. Obviously, these are all M+ things. I don't give a fuck about raid. Raid's a joke. It's easy to sleep through it. Yeah, these are all for M+. So our psychic link damage is going to go down when we lose the tier set. But our Shadowy Apparition damage is going to go way up. I think on PTR, I'd have to check one of my other videos or one of my saved logs, but apparitions is actually, you know what? Well, I'll just pull it up right now because I'm not lazy. All right, here are the logs. So let's look at 23 under. Nope, I wasn't top DPS when I'm looking at that one. 23 freehold. There we go. So make this easier. So this is the comparison we'd be looking at overall wise. You can see percentage wise that psychic link damage goes. I mean, this is just so much. So this is the way I would look at this, right? Is that overall in this key, what was this? At 27 hauls, I did 311 mil, and this one I did 151 mil. So let's just call this about half the amount of raw damage as this key, because these keys were a joke. It's no surprise to any priest players that as the key gets higher, we do better, because our damage is kind of like a ramped style. So, higher keys, more dam. Packs live longer, we get our ramp off. Our damage doesn't go to waste. But you can see that all these numbers are pretty much, I think they're about where they should be. I mean, you can just see the difference in Shadowy Apparitions and Devouring Plague. Kind of, Devouring Plague actually doesn't move that much in the percentage, which I think I was running. See if I was running the Distorted Reality. Yeah, I was running Distorted Reality, which I'm not running Distorted Reality on any of these because I just want to get used to some of the other aspects of Shadow Priest before I try messing with that. But yeah, a lot of these are, I mean, Think from Beyond is cranking, by the way. This is fucking, I can't believe they buffed this. I think I was actually playing with Shadow or Death here, not Echoing Void. And I mean, this was on, so I mean, this is something to talk about as well. This was on a 27 hauls. We did Int, and we had to do some boss fights a few times, but that wouldn't really, like, Echoing Void was 6% of my overall, and this is with Death Speaker, and Death Speaker being 4%. So normal Shadow or Death is about 1%. So let's say that Death Speaker contributes to 3% overall when Echoing Void contributes to 6%. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that these Death Speakers would also go into Psychic Link damage. So do I think that for this to be 6% damage, it would have to be pretty much right in between both of these two, which would be about, what is that, 7 mil and like 12.5, which would be like 5.5 mil. Let's say like 9-ish mil is where Shadow or Death damage would have to be at, which is only 3 million damage. So 3 million damage more than what it did in the key. And obviously this talent performs way better than Echoing Void on single target. And I had 121 casts, and how many times I get Death Speaker? Let me just figure it out. 65, so about half. How many did I have in this one? 68, right. So it's about the same amount of casts, non-Death Speaker, and then you get the additional Death Speaker on top of them. I mean, this thing did like 3.4 mil, and this yeah, essentially doubled it because it had doubled the Death Speaker procs, and then those feed into Psychic Link. So I think there will be an argument to run Echoing Void on high density mob pack dungeons that it's on Fort, and I think on lower count dungeons on Tyran you will want to run Death Speaker. I think that'll actually be where Death Speaker kind of ends up landing. I know in some of my previous videos I said that I think Death Speaker is way better. The only reason I said that was because the keys we're doing are too low. And I haven't been able to get, like, you know, some actual real high key data on some of our talents because on PTR we're cruising through the keys too quickly. And something like Echoing Void performs way better the higher the key goes as well. So that's why I thought that Death Speaker was the far superior talent in that scenario because of how the packs were just dying so quickly and Echoing Void was just not really getting a lot of value compared to Death Speaker. But now looking at the values in a real high key scenario, I think that Echoing Void is competitive. I don't think it's always better though. Like I said, I think high mod pack or just dense trash pack dungeons on Fort weeks, even probably on Tyran, those dungeons you might want to run Echoing Void still. But on the equivalent of like a court or like a SBG this tier, you would run Death Speaker. In my opinion, that's what seems to be working best because that's what I did for court, I think. And again, court is like a lower pull count dungeon, and I mean Shadow or Death itself is already raw beating what N'Zoth would do in this dungeon. N'Zoth does like 4% in this dungeon, if that. So you can see that Death Speaker really does well. I mean, I got how many procs in this one? Yeah, 55, and I had 93 casts, so yeah, more than half of these were Death Speakered and feeds into sight. Like, it's just so good. It's just such a good talent for just the way our damage profile works right now, so fine with me. So yeah, I mean that's really it. I know some people wanted me to touch on some gearing stuff next tier with trinkets and everything. I mean, it is what it is. I could sit here and complain about it for 15 minutes and say that it sucks and whatever, but it's not going to change. Us pretty much just run spoils and like the Neltharians thing. Apparently, Icon is simming like equal to, if not better than, like all of the dungeon trinkets at 441, even if nobody else is wearing an Icon, meaning like you're getting the worst value out of Icon and it's still keeping up with the dungeon trinkets next tier. So that kind of sucks. So if you have an Icon, you'll probably keep it equipped for a while, but obviously sim everything and like double check. But that's kind of what things are looking like and why people are kind of upset. So there's another thing to keep. There's nothing to touch on though. Brood Ring is probably going to be A, very hard to replace, B, potentially used in extremely high key scenarios because it is still a 431 ring. With if you like like 1,000 mastery like that, if you really like that, and you get a socket in it or something, obviously, would help you justify running a lower eye level ring like that. But the absorb damage is actually could be pretty big in some keys in the higher end. And if you are asking yourself, well, how would we proc the shadow damage? We would run the Roiling Shadow Flame embellishment, which would go on. I think I put on my cloak. Yeah, it is on my cloak, but it's bugged in the thing, so yeah. But this counts. It is Shadow Flame damage, so it does. You can see I was getting my Brood Ring during this dungeon. 63 hits essentially, so it's solid. We didn't get much value here, obviously, because even on a 23, by the way, this just felt so low. Like nothing was really doing anything. Oh shit, I got fucked up. I did the only 3 deaths this dungeon. Don't look at that. Anyway, yeah. So the trinket situation is kind of weird. Like you're just not like you just want raid trinkets. All the dungeon trinkets kind of just blow, except the spoils one. So I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not gonna expect Blizzard to perfectly balance all trinkets all the time and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of classes had things like Grief Torch this tier that were just abyss for no reason. It's just a channel trinket. Like, I'm sure that probably sucks for them. So it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Um, it does give us one less thing to have to farm in dungeons though, if our current trinket's already so strong. So I mean, that's fine with me. But yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to touch on. I did kind of say it when I ended stream today, but once Tuesday rolls around, unless obviously there's gonna be like tuning or something on like this coming Thursday or Friday or some shit, but once Tuesday comes around and like the season actually comes out, and I'll be streaming pretty much any time I play the game, to be completely honest with you. So any M plus stuff, raid stuff, just Shadow Priest stuff in general. Swing on by the stream. You can ask questions. I'll do my best to answer them as long as I'm not in the middle of fighting a pack of mobs or some bullshit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, if there's something in particular you'd like to see or something you'd want me to cover in a video, please let me know. I'll include a link to my my Twitch stream and my Discord in the description for people, for the ease of, for the lazy people. You know how it goes. I'm lazy too. I do that shit. It's fine. Yeah. So appreciate you guys watching the videos, and there'll be more coming.